Alrighty, folks, you want to know, I want to know, how do we find trading candidates? The one and only Mr. Dan Bird, who has been right a lot more than he's been wrong, is going to show us how to set up some scans to do just that. Alrighty, Dan, how do we find trading candidates? Help us set
All
up a scan.
right. First of all, I have to say, congratulations, 49ers.
Yeah.
That was a great game last night. They pulled it out at the very end. I kind of thought they would, but that torrential downpour was unbelievable in San Francisco. You're not up there now, right? You're in Vegas, right?
Tonight we head home.
Okay. Yeah, it was pouring crazy. So number one, congrats to the 49ers. Number two, since I'm originally from Maryland, I have to say congrats to the Ravens. And I think it's going to be the Ravens and 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Repeat of the Super Bowl. I forget which one it was a couple of years ago. So, okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's what I think. We'll see. Ravens look really good. They didn't look too good in the first half, but the second half, they looked great.
Yeah, very cool. All righty, man. Help us set up some scans. What do you got?
All right. I'm going to do this pretty quickly. So it will be recorded so people can go back and pause it if they want to. First, show you my website, breakpointtrading.net. If you want to get the free newsletter, it's right in this little button right here. I have a button here to check on earnings coming up in the next week. Makes it easy to find companies that are reporting earnings. And then this is the current secular bull market that we're currently in right now, going back to 2009. We broke out of the previous all-time high back here.
Yep.
But notice we are not close to the top of this channel.
That's true. Yep.
So we actually have a much longer way to go. So it may not be done yet. There will be pullbacks. It's not going to go straight up, but in fact, if you look at the rate of change, it's right near the top of its range too, up here. Usually the time when it has a pullback.
Okay.
But that's very positive. All right. So how to find how to find good stocks that are pulling back that might be ready to move higher. And this is, by the way, something that I learned in the VectorVest conference last week. One of the things that I took away from that I thought was actually valuable. I've been a VectorVest subscriber for 20 years. So I was actually helping people there at the conference understand how to use it. So there wasn't a lot of new things that I learned, except for this. This was a pretty interesting one, I thought. So first off, you need to identify a group of strong fundamental companies if you want to play it on the bullish side, which we're going to assume it's the bullish side, and then you just reverse things for the bearish side. Okay. So two ways that I do that. Number one, I have every week I run a number of stocks using different ways that I do it, using stock charts and IBD 50 and Tom Bowley's earning beats. And I put them all in VectorVest and I look at every single one, and I only keep the ones that have earnings going up and have net profit margin for the company going up. Okay. And I put all of those into a CSV file. So there's 169 symbols in there this week. So that's basically the main one that I use to run most of my scans against. Anyone else can do it on their own if they want to. They can create their own list. You probably already have lists out there. If they want to use mine, this is part of the $99 cost for the subscription, but that's in there. The other one that I mentioned in the last session that I'm doing now, and I just put it out there this weekend for the first time, is all of these top 10 lists from VectorVest, earnings beats, and IBD 50 that I put on the website every week. I have been accumulating those in a watch list. Every time they drop out of the top 10, I save them all into one central file, and including all of these top 3. So these are the top 3 in each of the sectors up here. And I also put those in a separate watch list. And then I combine these together, and I'm now offering that on the website as well. So these are all the previous top stocks as of this weekend. So it's the 3 top 10 from above, these top 10 lists, all the top 3 by sector on the left-hand side, and all the previously removed stocks from those categories. So those are all combined into this watch list. Okay.
I like it. Yep.
So step 1 is you need to have some watch list that you want to track. There are lots of ways that you might be able to do it. This idea right here, anybody can do this. If you're subscribing to IBD, just take their top 50 and put it in a watch list every week. And you're going to eventually end up with even the ones that dropped out of the top 50. If you're using VectorVest, do the same thing. You can do the top 10 or the top 20. Every week, put it in a watch list. You're eventually going to end up with the ones that drop out of that top 20, right? So there's lots of ways to do it, even if you're not using this website, but I make it easy for you. Put everything together right there. All right. So next thing is running a scan.
Okay.
So let me go up here and I'm going to show you the scan that I created. And this is using stock charts. I have not yet put this on the website, but I probably will put it on the website as well. So I have a page on the website called Chart Lists and Scans, where I have a number of scans that I look at. So for stock charts, downtrend reversal, that type of thing. And I explain what it is, and you can just basically just copy and paste it right into stock charts, and you have the same scan that I use right there.
Okay.
That makes it very easy, but I haven't done that yet, but I probably will put this one out there too. So this is what I learned at VectorVest. This is called a Bollinger Band scan. So a Bollinger Band will give you the high and low range that a stock trades in. So the upper band and the lower band. I'll show you what this looks like in a second.
Okay.
And what I do is I'm looking for stocks that have volume over 100,000, average volume over 20 days over 100,000. I'm looking for the ones that are in my best of the best chart list, and for the ones that are in the top 10 and top 3 combined. Those are the 2 that I just showed you.
Right.
All right. So this is how I use those 2 lists. So those are the stocks that I'm looking at. Next, I want to find the ones that have either have a daily low below the lower band, and this will make sense when I actually show you what it looks like. So a low below the band, and on the same day, it has a close above the lower band. So that's on the lower end. Those are the ones that are pulling down and starting to go back up.
Okay.
Or might be starting to go back up. It also looks for ones on the opposite side. So the ones that have gone through the high of the upper Bollinger Band and then have a close below it. So these are ones that are potentially bear trades.
Right. They're tired. Yep. I got you.
It's tired. Okay. It's gone up too much and now it's starting to come back down.
Yeah. So the first one is there's no more sellers, and the second one is there's no more buyers.
That's a really good way to put it, actually. Yes.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
Okay.
So first, so I'll run this, run the scan, gives me 62 candidates. Okay. Those are all the ones that it found. There's Autodesk, there's Allstate. You know, there's some.
These are just sorted alphabetically.
Just alphabetical. That's right. You can sort it different ways over here, but you can do it by sector if you want, by industry, whatever.
Okay.
Next, I will save this to a chart list and merge it, because now remember, while this has reached that lower band, it may or may not be starting to move up again. So there's a second step that I want to go through. But to get to that second step, I need to save these to a watch list, which I'm calling squeeze candidates up or down.
That makes sense.
Because these could be bearish or bullish.
Yep. Makes sense.
Right. So I save that to a watch list. And the next step is I then run a scan to look for ones that have either from that list, that squeeze candidate list, that have now just gone above their 5-day moving average. So those are the ones that are coming up from the bottom.
Yep.
Right. And the other one is the bearish one, are the ones that are coming down from the top.
Got it.
Have moved across their 5-day. All right. So now when I click on this, you can see that it's the squeeze candidate list that I just saved to. Squeeze candidates up or down. These slashes just mean don't pay attention to that line. basically cancels out that line for this search. I can re-enable that if I want to, but again, looking for a volume over 100, but that should already be included in there. Looking for a close that's above the 5-day moving average.
Mm.
And I'm looking for stocks that are worth more than $30.
Okay.
The reason for that is if I want to do some option trading with this, I might want stocks that are higher option prices, right?
Got it.
I could take that out and look for stocks that are less than 30 as well. All right, but this is going to look for basically looking for stocks that are moving above their 5-day moving average. So I've already found the ones that hit the Bollinger Band requirement, right? Now I'm looking for ones that are starting to move up. If I run that scan, now I've only got 18.
Oh, okay.
And remember, this is the bullish side. There's Zillow. Now, if I look at, let me look at American Express. This is one that I actually bought options on last week using this scan.
You know they have earnings reports next Friday.
Yes, I do. They have weekly options. So the expiration is next Friday, the day that they report earnings. They report earnings before the open.
Oh, okay.
So I will not be in this on Friday.
Right.
So let's take a look at the criteria. Remember the first one was, it actually happened 3 days ago. So this red one right here. This is the lower Bollinger Band down here.
Yep.
Remember, I wanted the low to be below it, but I want the close to be above it.
Correct. I see that.
So that's that third one. That's the next one. The next day would also qualify. Right. But the first one that actually allowed me to add it to my list is 2 days ago.
Okay.
But it hadn't satisfied the above the 5-day moving average yet.
Right.
That's this red line right here, or pink line. And you can see on
Friday.
this blue one, this one did get above that moving average.
Okay.
So this is exactly what it should look like. So remember, number one, we know it's a good stock because it's from that list. It's a good company. Number two, it's had a pullback. In fact, not only is it a good company, but it probably has already had an uptrend previously. All right. So it's pulling back below the Bollinger Band, but now it's starting to take off again. So I will watch this, and I will probably be out. As soon as it gets, let me think, probably about a 50% return, which is around 185 or so, 186. Remember, it's an option, so
yeah, a lot of leverage.
Yeah, a lot of leverage. So I won't be in it for earnings.
Right. Yeah. Don't gamble on earnings.
I'll be out before earnings, but it probably will run up into earnings. So that's what it looks like. And
fun.
We can actually go through each of these. I can save this to just a empty chart list that I use just to dump things in there to look at things. And we can step through each one of them. So remember what we're looking for. We're looking for something that's pulled back, is starting to make a high. This pink line here is the 5-day moving average. So that looks okay, but it's still right at the 21. This is AXP, American Express. That one actually looks good. This one looks pretty good, Constellation Energy, although an energy company doesn't move that far. Here's Comcast. Comcast starting to make a run. Carpenter, this is a steel company. By the way, Stock Charts now actually shows you the next earnings date right here.
Oh, they report next week too. Okay.
Yeah, so this is Thursday they report. So you can see where the earnings are right away. This one I probably would not get involved with. It's still below the 21 and the 50. So it could easily get rejected. FedEx, again, also below the 21 and the 50, starting to make a comeback, but it's got a lot of work to do. I probably wouldn't trade that one. This is a software company.
Yeah.
In all of these, what you're looking for is downtrend and a recovery starting to come back up.
Got it.
There's GM. GM is very interesting.
Okay.
GM's had a really nice run recently, had a pullback, and now it's above its 21 and its 5-day moving average. So this one might be an interesting one to trade. H&R Block also looks pretty good. H&R Block has had a great run and now has a pullback to the mean, and now it's just starting to go back up again. So again, these are companies with good fundamentals. Here's Intel. Intel participating with the rest of the semiconductors last week. The reason the semiconductors took off, by the way, is very positive reports out of Taiwan Semi.
Mm-hmm.
That's what pushed them all higher. Be interesting if China invades next week.
Stop it.
Then we'll see what happens. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying.
Put that out there. Kidding.
Right. So Intel looks really good, actually, right here.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Intel's just starting to take off. JP Morgan, one that you had way down here at 100. Remember that?
I did. Yeah. I no longer have it. In fairness, got out about 150-ish.
Yeah, you made nice profit on it though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 50%.
So that one's starting to take off. And by the way, banks in general, we talked about that in the last session.
Mm-hmm.
As the yield curve uninverts, it should help banks.
Oh, for
I
sure.
think banks will struggle in the beginning of this year, but I think they will do really well towards the end of the year.
Yep.
So
okay.
We'll see. This is a pharmaceutical company. So you get the idea, right?
Yeah.
Here's
okay.
a
Very
specialty
cool.
retailer. This one had a really nice run, really big pullback to the 50-day moving average. So that's right where institutions usually buy if they think it's a good, strong stock. That's where institutions will buy. So that might be what's happening here.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's just starting to go back up. Bank of Ozark. Here's another bank. Had a big day Friday. E Plus Computer Services. That one looks really nice. This is a great looking chart right here. This is a really nice run up, pull back to the 21-day, which is, I've always said, is the reversion to the mean.
Mm-hmm.
And now starting to take off again.
There you go.
With all the momentum indicators just beginning to turn up. So this is when you'd be catching right at the beginning of the run.
Nice.
That's the kind of thing you want to look for. Incidentally, go back to that one because it's a great example. Incidentally, the other thing I really like about this is that setting your stop is pretty clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just starting to make its run. And if this is true, went below the Bollinger Band, it's a strong company, good fundamentals, and it's just starting to make a run again, then you could set your stop right down here at the bottom, the lows of these previous ones, around 74 or 75.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's trading at almost 77.
Yep.
So very low risk.
Yep.
That's the other thing I like about these is that you can really quickly identify where to put your stop to reduce the risk. There's Take Two, right down there. Zillow, there's Zillow. So again, had a nice run, nice pullback to the 21. You'd set your stop right down here around 51. So if it does reverse and this fails for some reason, then the risk is very low. So that's what I like about this idea.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I appreciate you showing us how to set up scans, how you go through the process, what you've learned at VectorVest. Dan, I appreciate you. Next week's PCE, we'll see what happens on Friday. Look forward to it.
Yeah, by the way, we didn't talk about this last time, and we've got a couple of minutes, but I'm trying to remember if I created a PCE chart. I don't think that I did. No, I didn't.
CPI,
Yeah, I didn't create one.
That's right.
But it'll be interesting to see what happens with PCE because that's another one that the Fed's going to be watching.
Oh, for sure.
And if PCE comes in higher, which it might,
it could.
It'll be just one more straw for the camel's back.
You're holding on to that 5% chance of a rate increase. I love it.
I'll hold on to it right up till February 1st.
There you go. All righty, Mr. Bird. Have a great day. Take care of yourself. All right.
All right. Have a good weekend. Take
Thank you,
care.
buddy. Mhm.
Bye.